I'm Kelsey, and I'm more than my rejection letter.
I am Liam, and I am more than an introvert.
My name is Emmy, and I'm more than my past.
I am Peter, and I am more than losing a parent.
My name is Demi, and I'm more than chronic migraines.
I applied early decision to Columbia University this December, actually. And the college process to me was so much more than just the school. And I loved Columbia. I loved the city. I loved the environment. I loved the learning. But I think that what people sometimes forget, that it's not just what you send in on your comment application. It kind of becomes something that like you base your value on.
Yeah, I guess freshman year I was like really withdrawn, and like I didn't talk to a lot of people, and it wasn't that I didn't want to talk to people, but it just didn't really seem like it was worth like trying. And then like as years went on, like I started to like be more and more outgoing.
Yeah, I still felt like something was missing, so like one thing kind of turned into another, and I like stopped eating and like monitored everything I ate and like over exercised, and I just felt like I was never good enough, and I wasn't gonna be good enough until I was like skin and bones and I was fat and disgusting, and like I pushed myself so hard, and there's this like there's this voice in the back of your head telling you like you're not good enough, like why are you eating that, like you're gross, like you shouldn't be eating that, like and you just push yourself until you just kind of break.
So we got in the car that day, and I remember he was very excited that his tumor shrunk. I mean, I was very excited, I know. And I remember I like tweeted something like very happy. It was like, oh, great news, finally, some of it. And then a couple like people were like texting me privately like, oh, what's the great news? I'm so happy or whatever. And I had said, yeah, one of his tumors shrunk, and like that was the false hope for me that I thought it was all gonna get better. My grandma, we were going to bed, and she said we're all gonna say a prayer with him tonight, and so we prayed for him. And that night it snowed, and my uncle went outside and he made a cancer ribbon out in the patio. And it was just a night where everyone was all there together. And then that morning at about 2 a.m., that's when we were woken up, and my mom had come in and saying he had died.
Hey, so basically I've been getting migraines since I turned 10, and they've just gotten progressively worse over the years till freshman year. I got a really bad migraine, and it just never went away. I've been in constant pain since my freshman year of high school, and now I'm exactly a month away from graduating, so I've literally had a headache my entire high school career. Before I got sick, I was really active. I swam 6 or 7 days a week with my brother and my sister on competitive swim team, and then it just slowly tapered off to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, and I used to like always go out with my friends all the time. Sophomore and junior year, as bad as it sounds, I had maybe 2 friends, and I never saw them because I could never leave my house. I missed 160 days of school between my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, so it really affected my schoolwork, my social life, my athletic life.
You can't base your worth off of where you're accepted to college. At a 7% admissions rate, they can't accept everyone. That's great. They don't see that you're, a really good juggler, I don't know, but something that makes you unique and you can't put on your college application. So try not to do that. Try to make sure that as you're going through college, all the underclassmen, please know that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you make yourself, at the end of the day, you have to be happy. It's not about whether an admissions office sees that or not.
Last year at a New Year's party, I just kind of realized that I wasn't really doing that much of my life, and that I wanted to do more with it. And it's more than just being an introvert. That was a lot bigger than that. But I mean, in general, it was just like a point where I decided I wanted to start like being honest with myself, and just like working, trying to achieve things.
I guess because like I feel like society puts so much pressure on you to like be skinny, and like that's not everything. Like so like I just feel like once I realized like being like healthy is like so beautiful, like I felt like, why do I need to be like so skinny? Why do I have to look like a model? Why can't I like be like this? Realize that like, hey, like, you know what, I am beautiful, and like I'm not afraid to like own up to it, or like like, just acknowledge the fact that, like, hey, like, I do feel really good today, and, like, I do look beautiful. Like, I feel like so many young girls are like, oh, I'm not allowed to feel that way unless, like, I'm really skinny, or I look a certain way, or, like, I look like a model. And I feel like that's awful. Like, why are you not beautiful because you don't look like a Victoria's Secret model, or because you don't look like a Maxim model? Like, good. Like, I don't want to look like them. Like, they probably have to work out all the time, and they don't get to eat anything fun. Like, good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've personally found talking about it gives me a lot of emotional release, and I could sit and talk for hours about it to anyone. Because I think with the whole, like, what I really learned from it is that you really do have to live every day like it's your last, because it honestly could be. And having regret is just the worst feeling possible.
You really have to learn to advocate for yourself and make people see what you see and help them understand why you can't do certain things or have to do them a different way. My friends and my family are also really supportive. They help me when I'm having a bad day. My mom never gets mad at me if I'm having a bad day and I yell at her. I don't get in trouble for yelling at my mom, even though I should, because it's not really rude.
As I was going through school, I was always the nerd. Always, always, always the nerd. I went to my kindergarten orientation, and when they asked me the shapes and the colors, I told them in English and Spanish. Because I'm an asshole. So pretty much, I've gone through my entire, academic career defining myself on, the grades that I get and the facts I know and how many times I raise my hand and what my teachers think and if I can help my sister with her homework and if I can write the best essay or solve the hardest math problem. So the pinnacle of that, you reach this epi point that is college, and I know I'm not the only one that goes through this, because when there's 60,000 applicants who are all amazing, think about this, there are more people with perfect SAT scores applying to Stanford than there are spots at Stanford. We are setting unrealistic expectations for our youth in America. That is absolutely clear, but it doesn't have to be that way, because it has to be what you think, and it has to be a societal change that starts with you. There's no one that's ever gonna, come down from the heavens and say, choose what defines you. Don't let this, or this, or this, or this, or them, or your parents, or your teachers, or your friends, or the people that hate you. It has to be something that you choose for yourself.
I guess just always try to be as honest with yourself as you can, and it's okay to not be like everybody else, and if you don't want to do something, you don't have to justify it. Sometimes you just don't really like something, or you like something else, and you shouldn't let other people tell you
acknowledging that you need help is the biggest step, and good for you if you say you know what, this, I need I need someone to help me. Asking for help isn't a bad thing, and there's a stigma around it, I'm not strong enough, I can't take care of myself, and I think that all the time, and then I realize alright, no, I need to ask for help, I can't deal with this on my own, and I guess just be comfortable in your own body, don't listen to what anyone else says.
So for someone going through something similar or losing a loved one, I would say definitely find something that works for you and coping with it. For me, it's talking to people. And I had a list of friends that would just be there at the text. I could just text them and then I'd get a bunch of responses right away. And it just helped me, whenever anything happened, I was always texting someone. And just don't keep anything bottled up, because that eventually is going to come out, and that's not going to be good. You have to deal with it, because that person's not coming back. And I think once you realize that, you start to be more mature about it and realize that, okay, well, I'm 16 now. Am I going to live the rest of my life in bed crying that my dad's not here? Or am I going to try and live each day to its fullest and make him proud?
My message to the world is, as cheesy as this is, always look on the bright side, look at the sun. My shirt is yellow. Haha. I'm not funny, I'm so sorry. I think you always need to have a positive outlook, even though no matter how bad it looks and it's not going to get better. We didn't think I was going to get better. I'm on my 32nd medication and it finally worked. So, yay, fingers crossed.